Hi everybody! And welcome back to my channel. So first of all, how long have I not vlogged, Isaac? I don't know how long since our Bahamas video. So today we're gonna be making a Caldo de Res, or technically, which really is a beef soup. And I was gonna go ahead and show you guys how we make it. Here I have our meat that we got from our local HEB, and of course I'll be washing it and cleaning it off here in a bit. But let me show you guys. We're gonna be cooking it outside, simply because the meat does take at least about an hour and a half for it to boil. So we like to do it outside just so that the inside the house doesn't get too hot. Water boiling here, and it's filled up about halfway, so just to keep that in mind, halfway. Of course, when the water starts boiling is whenever you want to put your meat in. So we're gonna go ahead and cover this up and give it a chance to boil, and we're gonna go and get our meat cleaned. So before I open up the package, I just want to let you guys know that we are using the beef chuck short ribs, the bone in, and we're using a pack of the beef for stew lean meat. So and I'm just gonna go ahead and just rinse these off really good and put them into the pot. Now that we have our water is boiled, we're gonna go ahead and put our meat in. And you just want to be very careful when putting it in. So we made sure that your meat was washed really good. And of course we wash our of course it usually takes about, I say about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to cook. It depends on how much meat you have and what kind of meat you use. So I say let it sit for a little bit, but while we're waiting for it to cook, we also have to prepare the spices. We also have to prepare the spices while it's boiling. So we're gonna go ahead and start that now. The most important thing about the caldo is to make sure that our spices are done and put in while the meat is boiling, just so that it can absorb all those spices and the meat has a good flavor to it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the spices right now. I want to put some cumin in, some about 1 or 2 cloves, and I don't have whole peppers, but I have the peppers in here. It's technically the same thing and it will work. And of course you want to do at least about, let's say, we'll say about 5 cloves of garlic. And you can do this 2 ways. You can use a blender and just blend it all together, or you can use a, what is this?
Molcajete.
Or you can use a molcajete. I just throw everything in a blender, and you just want to make sure that all this is cleaned. I'm gonna blend this in, add a little more. So we're just want to blend this in, blend this. Are we just gonna want to smush this in just to make sure? So now we're just gonna want to add your. So now you're just gonna want to add your cumin. You want to add about that much, since we're gonna be using some for our rice. Just want to make sure you get these stuff here at the edges. You're gonna want to use about. We'll use about three cloves. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, if you have whole black peppers, that will work just fine. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of pepper in there. Give it about one more smush around. And of course, like I said, you can do this in the blender. It's much faster, it's much easier. But I just decided to do it in the molcajete this time. So, put a little bit of water. And while you're pouring it in, you're just gonna wanna mix it around. So that's our mixture, and this is gonna be our spices to put in the soup. This is what's gonna give the soup flavor. And this is also gonna be used for the rice later as well. Last thing that we need to get to put into the soup while it's boiling is an onion. We will add more onions later, but I like to use probably about a half, or not, you can do less. And this is just gonna add flavor to the soup, or to, I guess some people say, like the broth to the soup. So the more onions you use, I mean, the more flavor. We're just gonna use about this much. And we're gonna go ahead and put this in our soup right now. Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and drop in our onion. We're gonna wanna go ahead and take about 1 scoop of our little concoction that we made. And we're gonna go ahead and drop it in. So you wanna go ahead and mix that in. We're gonna go ahead and get it one last scoop, one last stir, just to make sure that no meat is sticking to the bottom of the pan. You want to go ahead and make sure you have some mint, or you know, it's up to your choice. We think it adds so much flavor to the soup. So we're just gonna go ahead and take, luckily we have our own plant in the backyard, so we're just gonna go ahead and take, we'll just take a little pieces off, just a little bit. We honestly like a lot of mint, so we're just gonna go ahead and take a bit, and we're just gonna wash this off and then put it in the soup. Go ahead and throw this in. Okay, so at this point, you're just gonna wanna let it boil for a little longer, and just make sure you keep on checking on the meat till it gets soft. At this point, you can add salt if you want. We wait a little bit to add salt, just to see how the flavor is going first. So right now, we are gonna go and get the vegetables ready. Go ahead and show you what vegetables that we're gonna be using for our soup. So we have our calabacitas, we have our celeries, we have our baby carrots, which we use the long ones, but we technically use the long ones, but the baby carrots is all we had. I got some potatoes, some corn, some cilantro, a head of cabbage. Go put these in now and let them go ahead and start cooking up and giving our soup some flavor. Okay, so the last things we're gonna cut is the stuff that's gonna be put towards the end, and the reason why is because these do not take long at all to cook and get soft. So we're gonna cut our celery first, and you just want to cut them. You can cut them bigger than this, you can cut them smaller. Like I said, it's up to you and your liking. We don't like them too small, we don't like them too big. My camera died towards the end, and I forgot to put in, to show you guys, but I put in the celery, the cilantro, and the cabbage, and it is now finished, and I'm just gonna give you guys a quick look on what it looks like. They're perfect, and our meat is done. Here we have finished the rice. And we'll just let that cook. Slide this over, and right now we're gonna go ahead and start serving up some bowls. So of course we got our bowl, and we're gonna get our rice. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get our meat. Make sure we got some vegetables in there. Make sure we get every vegetable. You can also use the oxtail in this soup. This is just what we had ready. And you're just gonna wanna make sure you get all the vegetables into the plate. And of course, some soup. So this is what we end up with. And as you can see, we can see all the vegetables. And now we just gotta get the tortillas. You're getting your tortillas and your salsita ready. Now you have to wait. Now it's for the taste test. Oh my goodness. Make sure you get the chile. The tortilla. Be careful, it's hot. Thumbs up or no?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. So say bye.
Bye-bye.